I'm back once more because of popular demand, with even more Switch 1 games that are boosted on Switch 2. I've done some more testing since the last video, and I found more games that all get boosted in some way, shape, or form here. All these games are operating at 60 FPS when played on the Switch 2, either getting boosted to that level, or just more consistently hitting that target now. In addition to all that though, many of these games get some other boosts too, like boosts to the resolution, boosts to the texture quality, and some games receiving some cut downs on their loading times. Anyway, enough delay here, let's just dive right into the list of games that I found. I was able to test the adventure game AI the SOMNIUM files, and for sure, it gets to 60 FPS on docked play, but more importantly, it gets to 60 FPS in handheld play during most of the gameplay and investigation segments. Actually, it looks really good here in handheld mode. And while I can't really illustrate it here, with only being able to capture docked footage, I can safely say that playing in handheld play seems to produce the best results here. Yeah, it's a weird case with this one, with the handheld winning out over docked mode. Also, it's worth noting that the weird slowdown when selecting the options in the menus are gone now, and everything is much faster and snappier now when moving through the menus throughout. Now, if they could only give this game a boost in texture quality in docked mode with an update or something, I think we'd be golden here.
Hey, I didn't know you could smell.
I can't. I'm pantomiming. Isn't it easier to visualize this way?
Sure, whatever. Not enough.
Pardon?
Harder, you gotta smell it harder.
What? Okay.
Amazing suction! Bravo! Marvelous!
The Switch 1 version of Cult of the Lamb gets a massive performance boost when the game is played on Switch 2. It now reaches 60 FPS pretty much most of the time now, with only the odd hiccup here and there. On the original Switch, the game could struggle at times, especially when things got hectic, or when you had a lot of decorations and stuff going on at your cult camp. But it's all around so much better here now. The same goes for this game in handheld play. It's a far better experience on Switch 2. There's no way I could ever go back to playing this game on the Switch 1 after experiencing it here on the new hardware. Diablo III stays locked at 60 FPS both in docked and handheld play without any hitches here on Switch 2. Loading is super fast too. I mean, it's really quick all around, barely a second at times in most cases, if even that. It was already a very well optimized game for Switch 1, but here with the super fast loading, it's even more enjoyable now. On the Switch 2, this is a good way to experience this gem.
Until the magic is exhausted. I need fury. Still recharging.
Lots of people have told me in the comments of the prior two videos in the series that Fire Emblem Warriors can hit 60 FPS now, and it's pretty much locked to that too. And after testing, yeah, it's true, if you select performance in the settings and play the game in docked play. That said, if you play it in handheld play, it'll be capped to 30 FPS, seemingly no matter what. It's a very strange scenario. This version needs an update to remove the frame rate caps for handheld play, as well as a bump to the resolution overall when selecting either mode. Performance mode will make things a little bit blurry here. I think Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which I talked about in the very first video in this series, gets the better boosts overall on Switch 2, and it looks much better too. Still though, it's nice to see that this is hitting 60 FPS. Here's hoping for an update from Nintendo in the future to help address some of the issues.
Good. I must stay this course.
Who are you? How do you come to be leading the Gristone army?
Just ask your father, King Oscar. Not even his own son will be shown mercy.
Mission complete.
The rhythm and fitness game, Fitness Boxing 3, gets a nice upgrade to 60 FPS on the new system. From my understanding, there was a patch released in the last few weeks to address some of the issues that it had on the new hardware, so everything should be good to go now. Beyond that, there's not really much more to say here, other than I'm shocked that they have made so many games in this series so far, 5 games in total, 3 main ones and 2 spin-offs. I never really thought they would make so many. I guess it's a successful series.
Ready! Punch straight ahead.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bigger movement! 1, 2, 3, 4. Check your form and throw! 1, 2, 1, 2. Punch forward! Last one. 1, 2, 1, 2. You look great!
The Switch 1 version of The Last Remnant Remastered has an uncapped frame rate, and because of that, when it's played on the Switch 2, it can now reach the 60 FPS mark in docked mode and in portable mode. This game looks really good in portable play, as I believe it reaches the max resolution here of the screen, unlike most Switch 1 games that seem to top out in 720p in handheld play.
Asking you.
Wait, hold on.
New Pokemon Snap always had a high frame rate on the original Switch hardware, and of course, it's 60 FPS here on Switch 2 in both docked and handheld play. The nice boost to see here though is in its textures. They generally look a little bit better from where they were before. It's a nice little boost there. Also, I think the loading times are a bit better too. They seem to be a lot shorter here overall. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was one of these Switch 1 games that received a free upgrade patch for the Switch 2. The game runs at a higher resolution now on both the Switch 2 screen itself and on high resolution TVs. Of course, the game is operating at a smooth 60 FPS, but I don't remember it having any issues in that department before. The game's load times are a bit faster too. A nice boost overall here, even if it's not as big as some of the other free upgrades that some of the other games have received. Here, while we're at the halfway point or so, I just want to put out a reminder here that if you haven't checked out the previous 2 videos of the series, and are curious about more boosted 60 FPS Switch 1 games for the Switch 2, then make sure to check out those videos. I'll have links to them down below, so you can check them out after watching this video. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath HD was always advertised as a 60 FPS title for the original Switch. But the truth to that is that even though that was the intended target, and the overall frame rate is a bump up from past releases, the game would still have some hiccups in certain areas, dropping frames here and there, especially during busier parts of the game. And that's with the less intensive FXAA option enabled for anti-aliasing. If you selected the much more intensive MSAA setting in the options, well, you would most certainly never see 60 FPS at all. On Switch 2, that's never an issue anymore, from what I've played so far. It always gets to 60 FPS, and pretty much stays there. Just for reference, all the footage shown here is with MSAA turned on.
Knocking 'em good.
Through selecting performance mode in the settings, Penny's Big Breakaway gets to 60 FPS, and pretty much stays there when the game is now played on Switch 2. Additionally, the resolution looks to be much higher now, versus where it was before. It just feels like a brand new game now, on the new system. It's been given some new life here, and I love it. This is great news for this 3D indie platformer, and you should definitely check it out on the new system. It is a tricky game to get used to, especially with its unique controls, but once you get used to it, it's a lot of fun, and of course, it looks great now too. The tactical spy game, Phantom Doctrine, gets boosted quite a lot from where it was from before. The performance is so much better here on the new hardware, and it reaches 60 FPS now too. This is a massive improvement here, and while the textures could certainly look a lot better, at the very least, it's much more playable now. This game is also pretty dirt cheap to get on the eShop. It goes on sale quite a lot, usually around $2 to $3 US. So if you're interested in another tactical game for your system, well, this might be worth checking out.
Dibs on that one.
I'm actually surprised that not many are talking about Pokken Tournament DX when it's played on Switch 2. It stays at 60 FPS without a hitch, that's no surprise here, but the big boost here is its loading times. It's very fast and very quick now to get through the menus and loading into battles. It's so much better from where it was before. That said, this game could definitely use a resolution boost though. It looks a bit low overall. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll ever see such a thing come along for it, but who knows, Nintendo might surprise us.
I don't think you can take any more hits.
Both Quake remasters are fantastic, and on Switch 2, they look great. With the first one, we can turn on all the graphical options, anti-aliasing, ambient occlusion, you name it, and it's 60 FPS, locked at it, no issue. The only thing I leave off personally is texture smoothing here, but that's all up to taste, and you can enable it if you prefer, and it'll have no impact to things in terms of performance. In handheld play, it looks great too, with the resolution seemingly bumped up to 1080p from where it was originally on the Switch 1. With Quake II, it's the same case. All the graphical options turned on, it looks great at 60 FPS, locked during play. You can enable CRT simulation too, no issue. It looks great in handheld play as well. I have texture smoothing on here, with square particles turned off. Again, it's all up to taste. But yeah, this and the first game are great ports for Switch 1, and the small boosts here make them even better on the Switch 2. These are some excellent games to have on the go. Streets of Rage 4 was always a good beat-em-up game for the original Switch, and here on Switch 2, it's 60 FPS locked of course. It looks great in docked and handheld play all around. The big boost it receives though, you guessed it, is its load times, which have been cut down a bit from where they were before. No huge boosts here, but still, it's just all around snappier to get into and play, with some better performance from where it was before. Torchlight 2 looks very clean on Switch 2, locked at 60 FPS, during docked and handheld play, without a problem. In handheld play, the bigger screen on the Switch 2 definitely helps with its readability. It's easier to see things now. Loading times have been reduced as well, it's super fast. This is a fantastic ARPG, definitely worth checking out if you like games like Diablo. And there you go, even more boosted Switch 1 games for Switch 2. Think this might be it for now, at least in regards to a little boosted 60 FPS series here. I've covered a lot of these games in the last month, and again, I encourage you to check out the previous 2 videos. I got links to those videos down below, so make sure to check them out. Lots of games to look out for and to check out on the new hardware. Hopefully, all these videos have helped you out. For now though, that is it for me today. Stay tuned, there's some more good stuff coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss a single thing. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you soon on the next video.